Good morning, YouTube. I don't really have anything really new to show today. I did get one new record in uh, that I wanted to show off, but I pulled off three tapes from the vault, as I like to call it, from my collection that I've been listening to this week, and I figured I'll talk about what's been spinning in the tape deck too. But before I get started, I do have some pretty good news. I officially am starting a new job on Tuesday of next week, so that's phenomenal news after about 5 months of being unemployed, doing about 15 interviews at least, getting rejected several times, having an offer given to me a couple of weeks ago, and then they pulled it a couple of days later because it wasn't approved for funding and some bullshit thing happened. I finally have a new job. So I am really, really excited to get started. They've already sent me like my laptop and stuff. It's fully remote, which is good because I was hoping to stay fully remote. It just makes things a lot easier with my day to day with the kids and stuff if I don't have to go into an office. And plus, I've been remote for like the last 4 years, so that's just kind of the lifestyle that I'm used to working now. And it's a job that I think I will be better suited at. I think it'll fit me better, and it's a career path that I've been hoping to stay in. I didn't have to move out of or anything like that, so I'm excited. So to celebrate that, I found this out last week, so I've been kind of holding off until stuff was more finalized. I signed the contract. I got my work laptop in this week. They're sending me all the credentials, all this stuff. So I think that's pretty final. I think it's pretty good to talk about it now. But to celebrate that, I immediately went and I checked out. Well, I didn't know that Gurgling Gore had this on their distro. I just saw a post and I was like, you know what? I'm going to grab that to celebrate because that is a record that I absolutely want to have, even though I already own it on tape. I definitely want to own that on vinyl. Now, before I get started showing off some stuff, a lot of people keep asking me, are you going to buy back your collection? The people that I've sold my collection to probably like 3 or 4 different people. So it's been parsed out pretty much. So 90% of my collection is gone. What you see back there is the vinyl that I have left, with the exception of there's a shelf over here that has like about 100 jazz albums that I still kept on too. But back there is like more jazz, classic rock, and then a ton of death metal that I kept. I kept a bunch of records that people gave to me as gifts, and then just things that I knew that would be really hard to get back if I tried to buy them, and I didn't want to get reissues and stuff like that. So yes, I am going to try and build up my collection again. That is the ultimate goal. Once I am settled into this job and I am caught up on my finances, we are very behind on a lot of things. We've had a lot of struggles. It has been very, very tough these last couple of months to live. It's been really hard. So there's a lot of things that I have to get situated in my life before I can start going full into buying music again. Gotta, come up with all of the, like, get all my bills current, which they're not right now. Every week is like a new battle of like, well, this bill is due, otherwise they're going to shut off this or they're going to do this. So that's how I've been living for the last several months, and it's just been absolutely horrible. I don't know how people do this. I hope I never get in this situation again. Now that I know, like, this is how it is, because you got to understand, like, ever since I've been 16 years old, I've never not had a job. So I've always been very independent with stuff like that. So now that I know that that's how this is, like, there's a potential of this happening, that unfortunately the workspace is not very stable in a lot of aspects. Especially in the tech field, which I'm in, like, there's just been so many layoffs going on these last several months. My company that I used to work for, the past companies that I worked for in the past, all did layoffs this year. So I think if I had stayed at my older companies, I think I eventually would have just hit me. So now that I know that, I'm going to not be completely crazy about buying records. I'm going to take it slow. I'm going to be choosy and picky about what I buy back. I'm not going to be a collector scum, as Marty likes to call it. I'm not going to be that person that's going to buy every single album of a band just to have every single album of that band. So, for example, Autopsy. As much as I love Autopsy, I don't love all of their albums. I think all their albums are good and consistent, but I don't listen to a lot of them. So I'm only going to buy my favorite albums of bands like that. The things I know I'm going to listen to and then I'm going to want to keep in my collection. And then as far as like new releases and stuff, I'm going to really hold off on doing pre-orders unless I've heard the album, I've enjoyed it. Like if I got a promo or something, which that happens a lot now. I'm very lucky that I get promos now, and so I can know if I want to actually buy something or not. Because before my spending habits were, I was buying every single album in the discography just because I loved the band, even though I didn't necessarily like all their albums. And I was pre-ordering everything just because I liked the band or I heard one song and I liked it. And then I was selling off so much stuff after that because stuff would just sit and collect. And I'm a person that really, like, it bothers me when I'm not using stuff. I don't like clutter and all this other shit. So I'm very A-type when it comes to those types of things. So that's like, I like made my moral ground rules of what I'm going to do. So, but the first couple of several weeks of working is going to be catching up on things in my life, and taking care of some travel that I have to do this summer, for like personal things that we've committed to, like a wedding. My cousin's getting married this summer, and then like a family reunion that we're doing, stuff like that. So, but I am going to slowly start getting things. So the collection updates are definitely going to come back. It's going to be like a series where Melanie buys back her vinyl collection, or Melanie collects vinyl again or something. I don't know. I'll think about what series and how to name it. But I'm really excited. I can't wait to get started. I'm going to just really, the first couple of weeks of this job, obviously I'll be training and doing all these things. So the YouTube videos might be few and far in between because my days will be spent working. And then I might have to just start recording stuff after I'm off of work and stuff like that. So the YouTube videos might thin out for a couple of weeks, as I'm getting acclimated to the new workload and the new schedule. And then I'll be back, and I'll be showing off new things again, doing vinyl collection updates, and doing the things that people miss. A lot of people miss the vinyl collection updates, and that's the reason why you started watching me, a lot of the reasons why you started watching me, but also I think a lot of my new subscribers watch me now for just music recommendations, which is also the other point of this channel. So, okay. So that was like the life update that I've done. The other life update is I did 2 uploads this week of streaming new records or new albums that are officially live digitally, and then their physical releases will be out next week, at the end of next week, on Iron Fortress Records. That's the new Morgued EP and then the Exhumation album. Go check out those streams. They're awesome. I'm going to be collaborating more with Iron Fortress throughout the next several months as he gets more and more releases in, and we talked about it yesterday, so I'm excited. Those are the things I want to start doing more of on this channel, is collaborating with labels and bands and doing those types of things, getting more exposure and helping them out for their new releases and stuff like that. So I'll link those in the description. Those came out on Monday and Tuesday of this week. That Morgued EP, I've talked about Morgued on this channel several times. I showed off a demo and an EP that Life After Death pressed a couple of years ago for Morgued, way back in the beginning of my channel, forever ago. And so now they have a new EP out. It's really good. I really, really enjoy it. I was pumped when I got sent the files because I had it before the release, so I've been listening to it. And then Exhumation is a death doom, funeral death doom band, from the main guy behind Sanctuarium, which is another phenomenal death metal band that I've shown off on here. It's his side project, and it is so good. Oh my god. I've been listening to that nonstop ever since I got the digital file sent to me. I'm definitely going to be buying that on a physical release. That's a physical release on Iron Fortress, and Pesta Negra is also doing the vinyl issue of that. So yeah, check out those videos, links in the description. They're very good, definitely worth it. For anybody that also has like their panties in a bunch, no, I don't monetize those types of videos. I'm not making money off of these things. I know that there are promotion channels here on YouTube that charge labels and bands to put their stuff on their YouTube page, and that's definitely warranted. They have a huge following, tons of subscribers, they get tons of views. Like, that's definitely, but I'm not to that point, and So don't. No. They're monetization free, so that's why I'm always telling people, like, hey, if you want free exposure, let me know. Okay, so I was scouring the Gurgling Gore site the other day, as I do probably at least once a week, because he continuously gets stuff into his distro, and then he also is a label, so he releases stuff too. And I saw that he got this in stock, and this is a record. This is like a list. I have a list of records that I'm going to buy first, because I just really want them on vinyl. And this was my number one. This is the one that I absolutely had to get on vinyl, because so far this is probably my favorite album to come out this year. There's a ton of releases that have come out this year that I absolutely just love. I probably have like 10 of them that I listen to on a daily basis still. But this one I'm deeming as my favorite right now. It'll probably change by the end of the year. But this is, ever since it came out in March, this has been spun at least once a day, at least a couple of times a week. Has really, really stuck with me. And that is the new Slimelord album. What was this again? Chytridiomycosis. I think it's Chytridium Relinquished. This came out on 20 Bucks Spin back in March, and I did the review for it on Heavy Metallurgy. I will link that as well, so you can hear my full thoughts on this album. A lot of that still stands true from that review, but I think my love for this is even more now than that review. I said this was kind of a mood album back then. I don't feel that way anymore. This is definitely not a mood album for me anymore. I listen to it whenever the hell I want. It's just really, really stuck with me. I love just the uniqueness of this album and just the different elements that they added into it, and just the overall ferocity and the darkness and everything. So I saw Gurgling Gore had this on his distro. It was a first pressing color variant, which they're all sold out now, but 20 Bucks Spin has new color variants up for the second round of pressings, so they're back available, but they were gone for a while. And this color variant was particularly the one that I wanted, and I was hoping it wouldn't sell out, but I knew it was going to. So when I saw it on Gurgling Gore, I was like, you know what? I'm going to celebrate me getting a job. I'm going to buy this because I really, really want that color variant, and you'll see why in a minute. But here is the album artwork by Brad Moore, the fantastic Brad Moore. You may also know him from several other album artworks, but Worm, he's done Worm in the past, and I'm blanking on other ones right now. Sorry, Brad. But incredible artist. I love this artwork, man. And he actually said on my on my Instagram post of this record the other day, it was a very challenging piece. So I thought that was pretty cool that he chimed in there. Just an awesome guy. Probably one of my favorite artists right now. Man, I love his style of artwork too. It's just very like fantasy style. And that just is phenomenal. And then here is the back. And the reason why I'm taking my time showing you this is because this is a gorgeous pressing. 20 Bucks Spin upped their game in regards to their vinyl pressings, which they didn't have any problems with them in the past, but this particular one has some little details to it that make it phenomenal. So here's the back. The liner notes and stuff like that are on this side, which I kind of like when they do that, when they just put them on the back of the jacket. But yeah, phenomenal. So Slimelord is a band out of the UK. This is their first full-length album, as we've talked about. Their last 3 EPs that they've put out on Sewer Rot Records, Dry Cough Records, etc., have been some of my favorite death doom metal to come out in recent years. So I've been a huge fan of this band ever since, and they just exceeded and blew me away with this first release. So it also comes with a printed bifold sheet. It has like I feel like just essentially the story of the album right here, and then the band's thanks or whatever. It's really cool. I just like the layout of this, how they continue the artwork throughout the whole entire thing, and there's some more artwork there. And then there's the band's shout outs, and then on the other side is the lyrics of the album. And then some more stuff there, and then a band picture, as you can see in the mossiness. Just the overall theme and artwork of this album is perfect for the music. They're very much very doomy, like a death doom band for sure, with a lot of like dissonance, heaviness, just very crushing, a little bit of avant-garde feel, I guess you could say. Just such a phenomenal album. Again, I'll link my review. But one of my favorite things, aside from the record color, is that they did the special picture inside the jacket. So it's like those tentacles. Just that additional little thing there just makes this such a really nice pressing. So I thought that was a nice touch. I like when they do the flooding of the black and stuff like that inside the jacket, but when they put the image in there, that's just really cool. So a little bit of a minor detail that I really enjoyed about this pressing. And then the record color is simply phenomenal. Oh man, look at that. That swirling is so awesome. And it looks like this on the platter, in the poly sleeve. Like, it's so vibrant and so clear. So this was the B2 variant. B1 was generally is like the merge splatters that they do, and then there's always like these style of things. And the mock-up of this didn't look anything like this. So when I initially saw this being on pre-order, I was like, man, if I can get the B1 variant, I will, because that was the best looking one. And then I started seeing this on social media. People were posting it as they were getting it. And I was like, that looks so good, and it goes so well with the album. And when I saw Gurgling Gore had it on their distro, I snagged it. And it was a really good price, too. He didn't jack up the prices. So that's the album. Gurgling Gore still has a bunch of stuff on the distro from 20 Buck Spin. So if you're a person that is very impatient, you don't want to wait for 20 Buck Spin to send you your order, because they are backlogged and sometimes it does take a little while for them to ship it, then get it off a distro. Iron Fortress also has them too. Chances are you'll probably get it faster. But 20 Buck Spin also has, obviously they have the Slimelord album. It's a different color variant now. But yeah, so that was like the must-have. I'm definitely going to snag a couple of other releases that they put out this year on vinyl. Definitely Siverus. That's probably my other favorite album to come out. Atreyu and then Witch Vomit are like the must-have records. So you'll be seeing those eventually. I'll get those eventually, but for right now, like I said, I'm going to take my time buying music. So on top of that, I do have 3 tapes I want to show off. Man, I'm at 17 minutes already. Holy shit. This has pretty much been like a what's spinning, what I pulled off my shelf and been listening to this week. Prog, kind of. And then I've been getting back into grindcore again. So we'll start with that. So I showed this off last year. This was one of my favorite releases last year, Organ Dealer, The Weight of Being on Everlasting Spew. I snagged this tape after I got rid of the record from my collection because I still wanted this. I still listen to this all the time. Man, such a good album. My God, if you're a grindcore fan, you gotta listen to this. Like, this is just the typical grindcore that I really, really enjoy. Just that high-pitched screaming, ferocious and onslaught, and just pummels you and is just slaughtering. So, Purple Pearl printed tape with black ink. This is their second full-length album. Their first full-length came out back in 2015, so they haven't really done much since then. And the band is out of the U.S. So yeah, this is one of my favorite releases last year, and I still am like revisiting it and still listening to it a lot. There has not been a whole lot of new grindcore that I've checked out this year yet. It's been a very slow year in regards to grindcore. For me, I mean, I'm not as in the scene as some of my other friends that I have, but definitely scratching that itch. I'm gonna have to go check out some new releases and see if there's anything new that's come out this year that I've missed. So, been spinning this. I would love to have this back on vinyl, but for now I'm happy with it on tape. Good stuff. I love that album. So good. The next thing I've been spinning is another one of my favorite releases from last year on Prosthetic Records. This was probably like my top 3 death metal album. But I snagged this too. Disguised Malignance. Jesus, I can't talk right now. Entering the Gateways. So this was a band that kind of blew me out of the water. I had no idea who they were. They're from Finland. This is their first ever full-length album, and it was out on prosthetic. Like I said, people saw it like trending on Bandcamp, and I listened to it, and I was blown away. This is such good death metal, and it's got a little bit of progginess into there, a little bit of atmosphere into it, but not a whole lot. Well, anyway, I snagged this tape a while ago when I saw, was it Rotted Life? Yeah, Rotted Life pressed it. It says right there. I've had this for several months. I think since when it first came out. I snagged it because I thought the tape looked cool, and I back then I was buying more than one format, so. It's this like milky clear tape with the pink ink on it. I think that looks awesome. Same on both sides. And then the J card is pretty true to what the vinyl was. So there you go. Yeah, it's got that spacey atmosphere to it. Not so much, like it's not a ton, but just really, really good death metal. This was, again, one of my favorite releases last year. Phenomenal. This band blew it out of the park, man. They hit a home run with this album. And they are a young group of guys, too. I mean, very young. So, the sky's the limit for them. I'm excited for them to come out with a new release already. But this has been a constant replay ever since this came out. So, check this out. Like I said, Rotted Life Records pressed this on tape. I'm pretty sure there's a CD, too. And then the vinyl prosthetic. So, amazing stuff. Such a huge fan of that album. And then finally, the last thing I'll show you today, I've also had this for several months. This is very much a mood album, but I was in the mood after listening to Disguised Malignance. It's like, you know what, let's listen to some prog. And that is Cynic with the hell is this called again? Traced in Air. There we go. Talking. So this was a reissue put out by Lifeless Chasm. I love Lifeless Chasm, by the way. If you are a tape head, if you're a tape collector, please check out that channel or that store. They put out such good stuff, and it's also a distro. So, but yeah, they've done so many good reissues. Artificial Brain reissues I have. They just press awesome stuff. So they put this out. This is Cynic's second album, and admittedly, really the only one that ever really stuck with me that I really enjoyed. I love prog rock. I love prog music, but for whatever reason, Cynic has never really clicked with me like other bands have. Like Focus, obviously everybody loves Focus, but that is an album that just has still to this day has not really clicked much with me. For whatever reason, Traced in Air has always been the one that I've really enjoyed. I've been able to listen to. It's a very unique album, and I can understand why people don't like it as much because of the vocal styles in here. It's very prog rock. Like there's like virtually not any death metal on this at all. I mean, there's maybe snippets of it, but for the most part, this has been my favorite singing album. Anything after that, Kindly Bent to Free Us, I never couldn't get into that much, and I can be honest with you, I haven't listened to their new album that came out a couple of years ago, Ascension Codes or whatever. But I saw that they reissued this, and I was like, okay, I snagged that. So I listened to this week. Again, very much a mood album. I have to be in the mood for this style of music, but when I am, I listen to it a lot. So, awesome tape with a sticker. I love that sticker on there. I love the classic sticker tapes. I love when labels do this. I mean, yeah, the pro printed tapes are nice too, but I love sticker tapes. And Lifeless Chasm does this for most of their, or pretty much all their releases, I believe. And then the J card is, there you go. And then this obviously was licensed by Season of Mist, it says on here, so. And then over there, the lyrics on the other side. So, yeah, this is still available if you want it on tape. This was kind of more of like a collecting thing for me. I just saw it. I already own this on CD, but I was like, you know what? That tape looks awesome. And I love buying tapes, so I snagged this. So this has been in my collection for a while, but I figured since I pulled it off the shelf and listened to it this week, I'll talk about it on the channel because I haven't shown it yet. So, again, check out Lifeless Chasm. I don't think I need to talk about this album. Everybody knows it. Everybody knows it. It's been out forever. It came out in 2008, so it's been out for a long time. Everybody knows who Cynic is. Yeah. So that's all that I have today. Remember, check out the 2 streams I put up earlier this week. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.